Welcome back to Mindcast, the podcast where we dive deep into the big ideas shaping education today. I'm your host, Will, and today we're tackling perhaps the most significant challenge facing UK schools right now, the AI revolution. I've just finished reading through a comprehensive strategic analysis titled Navigating the AI Revolution in UK Schools, and frankly, it's both thrilling and sobering. We're standing at what the report calls a critical juncture, a moment that will define the future of education for generations to come. Here's the thing that really struck me. Ofsted, the body that inspects our schools, has made their position crystal clear with 5 powerful words. The biggest risk is doing nothing. Think about that for a moment. Our education regulator isn't saying the biggest risk is moving too fast with AI or making mistakes with technology. They're saying the biggest risk is inaction. So today, we're going to unpack what this means. We'll explore the incredible opportunities AI presents, from personalized learning at scale to dramatically reducing teacher workload. But we'll also confront the very real risks, the potential erosion of critical thinking, the academic integrity challenges that are keeping head teachers up at night, and the ethical minefields around bias and data privacy. Most importantly, we'll look at what successful schools are already doing and what this means for every educator listening. Let me start with the opportunities, because they're genuinely game-changing. The first is personalized learning at scale, something we've talked about in education for decades but never quite achieved. AI is changing that. By analyzing vast quantities of student data, AI systems can create truly adaptive learning pathways tailored to each student's unique needs, abilities, and pace. Stanford University's Graduate School of Education has already validated this potential. Their research found that AI-powered tutoring systems led to significant gains in student standardized test scores, particularly in mathematics. These intelligent tutoring systems can quiz a student, analyze their response to identify gaps, and automatically generate new problems suited to their current level of mastery. It's like having a personal tutor for every student, available 24/7. But here's what really excites me about this. It's not just about high achievers. AI has transformative potential for our most vulnerable learners. For students with special educational needs and disabilities, AI tools like text-to-speech can assist dyslexic students in accessing complex texts. For students with English as an additional language, real-time AI translation can break down language barriers. The second major opportunity is workload reduction, and this one's immediate and tangible. A case study from Basingstoke College of Technology quantified this impact beautifully. Teachers saved an average of 5.1 hours per week using AI tools. 5.1 hours. That's more than the full working day returned to teachers every single week. Think about what AI can automate. Drafting initial lesson plans, creating differentiated resources, marking multiple choice assessments, generating routine communications to parents. The Department for Education has explicitly endorsed this vision, framing AI as a tool to back our teachers and improve working conditions to help address recruitment and retention challenges. Now, here's the strategic insight I found fascinating. This workload reduction isn't just a nice-to-have benefit. It's actually a catalyst for deeper change. Most teachers' biggest problem is lack of time. By solving that immediate pain point first, schools create the mental and temporal space for teachers to engage with the more complex questions of pedagogical transformation that AI demands. The third opportunity is workforce preparation. The economic imperative is staggering. Accenture estimates that successful integration of generative AI could add $736 billion to the UK's GDP by 2038. Jobs requiring AI skills can command salaries over 50% higher than comparable roles. To exclude AI from education is to risk sending students into the world fundamentally unprepared. But here's the paradox I found most intriguing. As AI automates routine cognitive tasks, the value of uniquely human skills actually increases. Creativity, complex critical thinking, emotional intelligence, collaboration, these become the future-proof skills that will enable individuals to thrive alongside AI. Now, let's be honest about the risks, because they're significant and they're real. The first is what researchers call cognitive over-reliance, essentially the outsourcing of mental effort to AI. When students can instantly generate an essay outline or solution to a maths problem, they miss the crucial cognitive work of synthesizing information and reasoning through problems step by step. Here's the really concerning part. This creates what I call a critical thinking inversion. Students who already possess strong analytical skills can use AI as a powerful cognitive amplifier, enhancing their capabilities. But students with weaker critical thinking skills are more likely to use AI as a crutch, passively accepting its outputs and failing to develop the skills they most need. The second major risk is to academic integrity. The widespread availability of tools like ChatGPT presents an unprecedented challenge. Students can generate sophisticated, human-like text on any topic, and the detection software is unreliable and prone to false positives. But here's what I found encouraging in the research. Many educators argue this is actually forcing a long overdue reevaluation of assessment practices. If an essay question can be answered satisfactorily by AI, maybe it's a poor assessment of higher-order thinking in the first place. This is driving a shift toward AI-proof assessment methods, oral defenses where students must explain their reasoning, learning journals documenting the research process, and more in-class supervised assignments. The third risk category is what the report calls the ethical minefield: bias, data privacy, and safeguarding concerns. AI systems trained on internet data inevitably reflect societal biases and can perpetuate harmful stereotypes. Educational AI systems collect vast amounts of sensitive student data, creating significant breach risks. So, where does this leave school leaders? The UK government has adopted what I'd call a cautious ambition approach. Both the Department for Education and Ofsted actively encourage innovation, but they've deliberately placed the responsibility for safe, ethical implementation squarely on individual schools. Ofsted's inspection framework doesn't evaluate AI tools themselves, but rather the impact the provider's use has on the outcomes and experiences of children and learners. This is subtle but powerful. Schools can't justify AI simply on grounds of efficiency. They need to demonstrate tangible improvements to teaching quality or student experience. This brings me to the practical insights from early adopter schools, and they're fascinating. Basingstoke College of Technology provides a brilliant model. Their implementation wasn't piecemeal, but guided by a purpose-built AI ethics group. They took a phased, evidence-led approach, beginning with controlled prototypes. Crucially, they coupled AI tools with deliberate evolution of assessment methodologies, moving away from standard essays toward podcasts and real-world projects. Ofsted's research revealed a near-universal success factor: the presence of an AI champion. This isn't necessarily someone with technical expertise, but rather a pedagogically focused teacher with enthusiasm who can demystify the technology for colleagues and demonstrate practical applications. The most successful schools foster what the research calls curious and cautious innovation, giving staff time and psychological safety to experiment without immediate pressure for measurable results, but always with student safety as the central priority. Now, let me share some specific implementation strategies that are working in schools across the UK. First, successful schools are creating AI literacy ladders, structured progressions that help both staff and students develop competency with AI tools. These treat AI literacy not as a one-off training session, but as a developmental journey that mirrors how we teach traditional literacy skills. Second, many schools are implementing AI transparency policies that require both teachers and students to declare when and how they've used AI tools. This has created a culture of transparency rather than secrecy around AI, leading to much more productive conversations about when AI is helpful and when it might be hindering learning. Third, schools are addressing the equity dimension head-on. The risk of AI widening existing educational inequalities is real and significant. Some schools have created AI learning hubs, dedicated classroom spaces where students can access AI tools and learn digital citizenship skills. Let me also address the question of authentic learning in an AI world. If students can generate essays, solve math problems, and create presentations with AI assistance, what does it mean to really learn and understand something? Some schools have introduced AI-human hybrid assignments, where students are explicitly asked to work with AI tools, but must document their reasoning process, critique the AI's outputs, and synthesize multiple AI-generated responses into original insights. The assessment focuses not on whether students used AI, but on how thoughtfully and critically they engaged with it. This approach recognizes a key reality. In the workplace our students will enter, the ability to work effectively with AI will be a core competency. Teaching them to use AI thoughtfully and critically is preparing them for authentic participation in a world where human-AI collaboration is the norm. Looking ahead, successful schools are preparing for three key trends. First, the continued acceleration of AI capabilities. Schools that build flexible, principle-based approaches rather than rigid, tool-specific policies will be better positioned to adapt. Second, the emergence of AI-native students. Children entering primary school today will never know a world without accessible AI. Their relationship with these tools will be fundamentally different. Third, the integration of AI across all subject areas. We're moving beyond seeing AI as a computing topic toward recognizing it as a cross-curricular competency, like literacy or numeracy. Here's my key takeaway from all this research. Success isn't about which software to buy. It's about building robust human infrastructure around AI tools. The schools getting this right start with clear policies that mandate human-in-the-loop verification. They invest in AI champions and continuous professional development. They reimagine curriculum to explicitly teach AI literacy as a core competency. Most importantly, they're redesigning assessment to focus on skills AI cannot replicate: collaborative problem-solving, creative synthesis, ethical debate, and critical analysis of AI-generated content itself. The report concludes with a powerful insight. The challenge of AI is not technological, but strategic. The question isn't whether to integrate AI. Ofsted has made clear that doing nothing is the biggest risk. The question is how to harness AI's power to augment, not replace, the irreplaceable human core of education. That's what successful schools are doing right now, using this moment of transformation to double down on developing knowledgeable, critical, creative, and humane individuals. They're treating AI as a powerful tool in service of fundamentally human educational goals. If you're an educational leader listening to this, my challenge to you is this: don't get caught up in the technology. Start with your pedagogical vision. What do you want your students to know, understand, and be able to do? Then ask how AI might help you achieve those goals more effectively while managing the very real risks we've discussed. The AI revolution in education isn't coming, it's here. The question is whether we'll shape it intentionally or let it shape us by default. Based on what I've seen in this research, the schools that will thrive are those building strategic, human-centered approaches to AI integration right now. Thanks for joining me on Mindcast today. This conversation about AI in education is far from over, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Until next time, keep thinking critically about the big ideas shaping our educational future.